Welcome to the DIY Honda Garage channel. The Diagnostic Trouble Code, DTC U0038, indicates a problem with the TCM, which stands for Transmission Control Area Network, specifically between the Transmission Control Module, TCM, and the Powertrain Control Module, PCM. This error signifies that there is a malfunction detected in the communication between these two critical components. In most cases, the issue is linked to an electrical circuit problem, and it is important to note that mechanical problems in the transmission itself will not trigger this specific code. The TCM is the module responsible for controlling the transmission, ensuring proper shifting and operation, while the PCM manages engine functions and can influence transmission performance based on engine load and speed. The TCM serves as a communication backbone for these modules, facilitating the transfer of vital information required for optimal vehicle performance. When troubleshooting this DTC, it is essential to follow a detailed diagnostic process to isolate and resolve the issue. The DTC U0038 is a confirmed code that signals a malfunction within the TCM communication line between the Transmission Control Module, TCM, and the Powertrain Control Module, PCM. The TCM is located within the transmission housing, while the PCM can generally be found in the engine compartment. The role of the TCM is to oversee the operation of the vehicle's transmission system, including shifting patterns dependent on engine and vehicle speed. The PCM, on the other hand, is essential for controlling various engine functions, and it utilizes the data from the TCM to make informed adjustments regarding fuel mixture, timing, and transmission performance. A malfunction in this communication can lead to problems in both engine operation and transmission performance. Recognizing that this DTC arises from an electrical anomaly is crucial, as it directs the user to look for issues such as poor connections or damaged wiring, rather than mechanical failures in the transmission itself. The potential causes for DTC U0038 are primarily rooted in the electrical circuit between the TCM and PCM. An electrical circuit problem may occur if there are damaged wires or connectors that inhibit proper communication. Poor connections can also lead to intermittent or permanent communication errors, affecting how the TCM and PCM relay information to each other. Another factor can be loose terminals that may create disruptions in the signal relay. Such issues typically arise from wear and tear, environmental factors, or improper handling during repairs or inspections. Ensuring the integrity of the electrical pathways between these two components is crucial for the correct functioning of the vehicle's transmission system. In any troubleshooting scenario, understanding these potential faults allows one to narrow down the investigation and approach the problem systematically. Symptoms associated with DTC U0038 primarily involve issues related to the vehicle's transmission performance. Drivers may experience erratic or unexpected shifting behavior, where the transmission does not shift smoothly or engages at inopportune moments. Additionally, various warning lights may illuminate on the dashboard, indicating a problem with the transmission or the engine. Since the error involves communication between the TCM and PCM, the vehicle may also exhibit hesitation or loss of power during acceleration. It's not unusual for vehicles exhibiting these symptoms to enter a limp mode, where the transmission reverts to a default state to prevent further damage. Recognizing these symptoms can help in promptly diagnosing the underlying issue and taking necessary steps to rectify it, thereby ensuring a smoother driving experience. The first step in troubleshooting DTC U0038 involves problem verification, ensuring that the issue is confirmed before proceeding further. To start, turn the vehicle ignition to the on mode without starting the engine. After that, use the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS, to clear any existing Diagnostic Trouble Codes, DTCs. Once cleared, switch the ignition to off, lock mode, and then turn it back to on. At this point, it's essential to check for any pending or confirmed DTCs that may still exist within the PGM-FI system. The PGM-FI, or Programmed Fuel Injection System, is integral to engine performance and can provide additional context about operational faults. If DTC U0038 is once again indicated, it confirms that the fault is persistent, leading you to the next steps in the troubleshooting process. However, if the code is not present, it may suggest intermittent faults that are worth investigating further, focusing largely on poor connections and loose terminals during this phase. Step 2 involves performing open wire checks on the TCM-H and TCM-L lines to detect any open circuits. First, ensure that the vehicle is in the off lock mode. Use the HDS to jump the SCS line, allowing for more accurate testing, and wait for more than 1 minute to stabilize the system. Following this, disconnect the TCM-50P connector and the PCM connector A-50P to prepare for continuity testing. It's crucial that the wires are free from any connections during this test. With the connectors disconnected, you will then check for continuity between test points designated on the TCM-H and TCM-L lines, comparing the specific pin numbers, that is, between TCM-50P connector number 4 and PCM connector A number 21 for TCM-H, and between TCM-50P connector number 12 and PCM connector A number 20 for TCM-L. If continuity exists, it indicates that the wires are not open and that you should move to the next step. Conversely, if there is no continuity, this will necessitate identifying and repairing any breaks in the TCM-H and/or TCM-L wires between the TCM and PCM. In this third step, the focus shifts to checking for shorted wires within the TCM-H and TCM-L lines. Utilizing the same conditions as before, ensuring that the vehicle is in off mode and that the TCM and PCM connectors are disconnected. You'll assess continuity between specific test points. For the TCM-H line, check for continuity between TCM-50P connector number 4 and a solid body ground point. For the TCM-L line, you will also measure continuity from TCM-50P connector number 12 to body ground. Achieving continuity here means there might be a short to ground in the TCM lines, which must be addressed. If continuity is found, repairs should be initiated to rectify the short circuit identified in the TCM-H and/or TCM-L wires. If continuity does not exist, then the wiring is considered okay. The next step would involve consulting any authorized service information relevant to this DTC or possibly substituting a known good PCM to evaluate if it resolves the issue. If the fault clears with a replacement, it indicates the original PCM was at fault and should be replaced for proper functionality. After completing all necessary repairs and checks associated with DTC U0038, it is critical to verify the effectiveness of the repairs made. Begin this verification process by utilizing the HDS to clear the DTC from the system. Once cleared, perform a thorough retesting of the vehicle to monitor for any reappearance of the code or related symptoms. This involves driving the vehicle under various conditions to replicate the circumstances that led to the initial DTC being set. Monitoring both engine and transmission behavior during this test is essential to confirm that the communication between the TCM and PCM is now functioning optimally. If DTC U0038 does not return, it indicates successful resolution of the issue. allowing for peace of mind regarding vehicle reliability. If the code reappears, reviewing the previous steps and confirming the integrity of repairs will be necessary before further diagnostics can be pursued. Preventive maintenance plays a crucial role in reducing the likelihood of encountering DTC U0038 in the future. Regular inspections of wiring associated with the TCM-PCM system should be a staple of vehicle upkeep, ensuring that there are no signs of wear or damage present. Additionally, checking connectors for corrosion or loose terminals can avert communication failures between the TCM and PCM. Corrosion can significantly impede electrical signals and lead to malfunctions, making early detection critical. Monitoring vehicle performance is also important. If shifts appear erratic or warning lights illuminate, addressing these indications promptly could help in identifying issues before they escalate. Keeping an eye on transmission fluid levels and quality is also essential, as low or contaminated fluid can affect both performance and electrical connections. These preventive measures will contribute to the longevity of the vehicle's transmission system and overall reliability. In conclusion, DTC U0038 points to a significant electrical issue between the TCM and PCM related to the TCM-PCM network. Understanding the underlying causes of this issue allows for a more targeted approach in troubleshooting, which includes verifying codes, checking wire integrity, and confirming communication reliability. Systematic troubleshooting is essential for effectively diagnosing and resolving the problem to ensure the vehicle operates smoothly. Post-repair verification is critical to confirm the issue has been fully addressed, and preventive maintenance practices should be followed to minimize future occurrences. Regular inspections and monitoring can significantly enhance vehicle reliability and performance. Emphasizing both diagnostics and maintenance will ultimately lead to a more resilient transmission system and enhance the driving experience. Please like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.